Hello, I'm Lorne Risley. I'm not sure what day it is, and this is Defunct Games News, your one-stop shop and your weekly roundup of all the gaming news this week. Coming up this week... Okay, I guess they finally... Sega gears up as it announces a new micro version of its classic handheld console. Gaming goes Hollywood as Cate Blanchett officially joins the Borderlands movie cast. And other highlights to come include the cancelled Avengers game footage leaks. And of course, Cyril's challenge of the week because life is cruel. Happy third episode, everybody! Because we all know that Defunct Games cancels any successful series that it has after just 3 episodes. So welcome everybody to the sweet release of Cancellation. But to mark the occasion, I thought we'd take a look back at some of our best moments, some of our happier moments. If we could roll the clip. Was that it? Was that you, Jeff? Well, you think that's funny? Ha 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 ha! I won't miss you. Anyway, before we get on to the news of the week, I suppose we better look at Cyril's challenge, wherever the hell that is. Spoil a non-existent game. Game on, Cyril. But coming up first this week, Sega has now revealed full details of its new Game Gear Micro portable console. Set for release sometime in Japan, it currently has 4 color variations and indeed 4 sets of games within those variations, likely to try and get people to part with their cash for all 4 consoles. But you don't care about any of that. Let's talk about some hard numbers, people. The micro gear itself is 80mm by 43mm by 20mm with a 1.5-inch display. It has a single mono speaker and a headphone jack. It charges over USB but can also run off 2 AAA batteries. Set to be priced around $50 a pop, Sega is also offering a bundle pack of all 4 consoles, including a mini version of its big window magnifying glass accessory, all for the low price of $250. Despite my allure, I am indeed uneducated on such things, so now we throw to our Why Is This Important correspondent and good friend of mine, Cyril Lachelle. Cyril, why is this so important?
Thanks, Lorne. You're doing great. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm genuinely excited to be talking about the Game Gear again. Just in case you were too young to own one or just not into handhelds at the time, this was Sega's answer to the Nintendo Game Boy. It came out in 1990 with a whirlwind of hype from gaming magazines, and while it didn't quite take off like Nintendo's portable, the Game Gear did have some things going for it. For one thing, this was a full-color unit that looked great next to the monochromatic Game Boy. It also managed to amass a strong collection of stripped-down Genesis ports, including versions of Streets of Rage, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Castle of Illusion, Gunstar Heroes, and even Mortal Kombat 2. Better still, the Game Gear was also home to exclusive entries from Sonic the Hedgehog, Shining Force, Shinobi, and a bunch more. And if that still isn't enough, Sega released adapters that let you play most of the Master System games and even watch TV on the go. Unfortunately, the Game Gear got trounced by Nintendo. While Sega managed to sell close to 11 million units before discontinuing the system in 1997, the Game Boy absolutely crushed everything by selling 118 million systems. But even though it was considered a disappointment at the time, the Game Gear managed to win over a cult following that still has a soft spot for this 30-year-old portable. And just in case you're one of those people who has nostalgia for this little guy, I'm currently working on a video that counts down Electronic Gaming Monthly's best and worst Game Gear reviews. So you'll definitely want to tune in for that. And yeah, and there you have it. That's all I have for today. Thank you, Lorne, for having me on your little show. From the field, my name is Cyril, and I'm signing off.
Thank you very much. Little show? While the console looks set to be released in Japan come October, no US or European release date has been announced. The games included on each of the 4 consoles vary, but include some classic Gear games such as Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Chaos, Gunstar Heroes, and a number of Shining Force games, with 16 games in total over all 4 consoles. We happen to recommend the blue version if you're asking. We here at Defunct Games are a little bit dubious about how successful it would be in the US or Europe, and if you're asking us, we think that the handset needs to be just a little bit bigger, and you certainly need to include all 16 games to make it worthy of a price point like $250. We like the colors though, because the colors make it look dope. The kids still say dope, right? No, they say peng. What the hell's a peng? Time traveling diaries. Now, as you may be aware, myself and Cyril recently Whoa! What the hell are you two doing here?
No time to explain. Nevertheless, the point is, no one gets the joke, no one finds it funny, and you're tearing apart the fabric of space-time. Stop it. Let's go, Cyril.
All right, Lorne.
Well, that was odd, and almost a completely blatant rip-off of Time Busters 3, Busting Makes Me Feel Good, where one of the protagonists time traveled to stop themselves from setting off the events of the game. Nailed it. And with that non-existent game spoilt, and challenge won, we move on, I guess.
What the hell was going on?
Now, this week, many in the entertainment and technological industries sought to offer solidarity and statements concerning the recent tragedies and events that have been unfolding in America. By posting statements offering their support to the black community and condemning racism in all its forms, this has also led to a number of publishers and developers delaying or cancelling events as a mark of respect. Notable examples include Sony announcing the delay of their PlayStation 5 reveal event, originally scheduled for the 4th of June, indefinitely as it happens. Activision have announced the new seasons of Modern Warfare Warzone and Call of Duty Mobile have been delayed to an unspecified time. And of course, Epic Games announced that Fortnite 3 is set to be delayed again until the 17th of June, with all citing the recent events as a moment to press pause and revisit them at a later date to allow more pertinent issues to have the full attention of the public. And while some, of course, may be extremely disappointed by these turn of events, the fact is, I and indeed all of us here at Defunct Gaming feel that this is a reasonable and measured response and a rare moment of respect paid by the gaming industry who are lending their voices to, I think, what we can all agree on is a worthy cause. Because sometimes in life, rarely, there are things more important than gaming. And I don't think many can argue that some of those things include happiness, the right to life, and equality. Now we all know gaming movies are the creme de la creme of the genre. Never will you hear the words low budget or acting so bad I want to claw my eyes out with a rusty fishing hook being uttered by an unwilling audience of such classics like Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the Mario Brothers movie, Assassin's Creed, or indeed the Street Fighter Again, we're going for sarcasm here, Lorne. Okay, sorry, I genuinely liked all of those movies. But in recent times, gaming-inspired movies have not been complete butt drizzle, with a few exceptions such as Detective Pikachu, Wreck-It Ralph, and even Sonic the Hedgehog releasing to commercial and critical success. Now, Borderland is getting in on the act, but not without difficulty. The movie has been in development hell since 2016, and it's set to be directed by Eli Roth, whose only film credit I actually like is 2012's The Man with the Iron Fists, which had the RZA in it, from the Wu-Tang Clan of course, and a perpetually drunk Russell Crowe. So it's fair to say even that movie has some glaring holes in it conceptually. So not a great start. I mean, I'd have picked Taika Waititi, personally. But now some serious optimism as two-time Academy Award winner Cate Blanchett has signed on to play Lilith, a siren from the planet Disonis. She's become a staple of Borderlands, having appeared in multiple games, along with everybody's favourite Claptrap, the fast-talking robot Mad Hatter-styled mascot of the series. A synopsis leaked in 2015 stated that the film would follow the legendary thief Lilith, who has to rescue the Atlas Corporation CEO's daughter, Tiny Tina. Who's awesome, by the way.
The stalker thought 'twas all in fun.
Assisted by Claptrap, Tiny Tina's bodyguard Craig, and a small group of Vault Hunters. Production is yet to commence and a rating yet to be determined, but with the success of recent R-rated movies, a wealth of lore, and a license to go hog wild with an actress of Blanchett's caliber and experience in Thor Ragnarok, the early signs of promise. And hey, if the movie ends up stinking up the joint and being a solid Aliens Colonial Marines on the Gearbox ladder of all-time f***ups, there's always the Mortal Kombat reboot coming in 2021. And that can't be any worse than, well, you know. The horror.
A few moments later.
And finally, despite my attempts to block the bosses of Defunct Games' internet and reroute their browser history so that I don't have more stuff to do, here's some other stuff that I found time to research this week. A never before released NES game has now seen the light of day due to a rare intervention from gaming historians. Days of Thunder? Never heard of it? Well, that's because this particular version didn't exist entirely until this week, when 40 floppy disks of data were used to bring the long dormant game to life. The NES game was co-authored by the late game developer Chris Oberth from Mindscape, and through the efforts of his family in the Video Game History Foundation, they have managed to make a fully functional version of the NASCAR-inspired game, which you can buy right now, so why not go check out a unique piece of history and a rare moment of gaming conservation. And speaking of never-before-seen games making a return and somehow reanimating, there's a cancelled Avengers game footage video that's leaked. Square Enix's long-in-development Avengers game is set to release this September with a preview stream set for the 24th of June. But check out the remnants of what appears to be a 4-player, first-person cooperative version of the Avengers game cancelled while in development. The YouTuber Andrew Bowman posted footage of a game that was reported to have been due for release to tie in with the original Avengers movie in 2012, but then something THQ and bye-bye it went. All I can really say having seen the footage is, damn, the Avengers have been lifting. Lockdown's been much kinder to them than it has been to me.
You're breathtaking.
And finally, it's anniversary time. Let's take a look at some of the games that had anniversaries and birthdays this week. Finally, a reason to celebrate on this show. Biker Mice from Mars on the PS2 turns 13 years old this week. Modo for life, motherfuckers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie came out on the Sega Genesis in 1995. And finally, Leisure Suit Larry in the Land of the Lounge Lizards came out in 1987. Well, that's been a fun look back, hasn't it? And that indeed has been the happenings of the week here on Defunct Games News, and if I appear happy, it's finally over. 3 episodes, we did it! 3 episodes! I'm just going to remind you to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're checking out all of Cyril's content going forward, because we're officially out of here! 3 episodes! It's time to celebrate! Time to...
Oh, hey Lorne, I'm so glad you're still here. I'm glad I caught you. Oh, you're going to be so excited because I just got off the phone with the network and I wanted you to be the first to know that Defunct Games News has been picked up for, get this, another 97
episodes?
I don't even know how it happened. I mean, we were first talking about Friends and the Big Bang Theory, and then suddenly they're adamant about pushing this thing into syndication. This is exciting news. Okay, there's just one problem. The only thing is that they don't have the budget for another 100
Well, then how are you going to
So we're gonna have to make a few cuts here and there, starting with your salary. But hey, I know how much this gig means to you. So I told them that you wouldn't go any further than a 50% pay cut. I did it for you. Just as long as you can keep hosting this show. I know, buddy. I know that this gig gives your life purpose. So there's no reason to thank me. Anyway, I just wanted to hop on and tell you the great news. This is such a big deal, Lorne, and we'll talk about it more when you come in for next week's episode.
We're not talking about it now!
Oh man, I wish I could see your face right now. Oh, I bet you're beaming with excitement. Come on, Lorne, tell me that you're beaming with excitement. Yeah, I knew you would be.
I'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks for watching Defunct Games News. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that Lorne will be back next Sunday for a brand new episode. Now here's the question I have for you. Are you interested in the Game Gear Micro? And if not, is there something Sega can do to get you excited for such a small little system? Let me know in the comments below. In other news, we'll be back tomorrow with the start of a very East-focused week. I'm of course talking about the East Book series. Look for that to kick off in just about 24 hours. In the meantime, I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then,